Hi, I've just been offered a speaking opportunity in Toronto, Canada, to share the stage with the great Deepak Chopra for USD $75,000. But I'm going to turn it down. Why, you might ask, would I turn down a 75,000 US dollar speaker gig? Well, because I think it's too much to pay. Yes, it's a pay-to-play opportunity. I can have 20 minutes on stage in Toronto, Canada with the great Deepak Chopra for the small price of 75,000 US dollars. And I think this is everything wrong with the speaking industry, but I think it's also everything wrong with the road to success in all industries. And I think there is a correct way to be successful, and I think there's a line that we shouldn't cross. Now, you may or may not agree with me, but having been a professional speaker and coach for over 20 years, I've made the mistakes. I have occasionally dropped the word Amazon when I talk about one of my books, which reached bestseller on Amazon. But it sounds much better to say bestseller. But there's a difference between being a bestseller on Amazon and being Harvard Business Review bestseller or New York Times bestseller. So sometimes we have to ask what's behind the award. Now, many times I've spoken at conferences, and by virtue of speaking at conferences, I get an award as the best leadership coach, et cetera, et cetera. And it's wonderful vanity marketing. And I know that as I was building my career, those sorts of accolades were really good for the ego. So I'm not here to judge anybody that's particularly promoting those, although we do see them. Here I am, with my award as the best marketer, the best this. And a little bit of acknowledgement and validation on our road to success is not in itself harmful. When it gets out of order, I think that's when the problem is. When that 75,000 opportunity, nobody cared whether I was going to be a good speaker. Nobody cared that I'd spent 20 years of research, writing, speaking about my topic of self-leadership. They just cared whether I was going to spend the money. And I think that's where we need to look at what are the milestones, what are the validations that we are actually chasing? Are they meaningful and significant, right? Because I have spoken on big stages. I've spoken with audiences of 12,000 people. But I got there because I did the writing, the research, the interviews, the study, the speaking, the coaching to develop the skills to do that. Now, the hardest thing for somebody starting out on a journey, an intern within an organization, a management graduate, is how do I accelerate my road to success? How do I get there faster? I remember one of my interns many years ago, his name's Radu, and he said to me, I want to be where you are in the next couple of years. And I thought, well, hang on, it just took me 20 years to get here. Or at that time, I think it took me about 15 years to get here. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's possible. But there are ways to accelerate it. Now, Radu is managing director of his own organization now. He's in recruitment. He's doing super successfully. He's doing his own live videos. He's changing people's lives. And he did accelerate by looking at the success principles. What do I mean by success principles? I mean those things that are timeless, those things that always work. And you can read many books on those, whether you are reading Og Mandino or you're reading Think and Grow Rich or The Magic of Thinking Big. There's classic principles that you have to pay your dues. You have to develop a deep level of understanding of your topic and your expertise. But that in itself is not enough. You then need to go out and make a value proposition. You have to be seen to add value in other people's lives. Earlier this week, I did what for me was a small group of management graduates for an organization, teaching them something that for me is fairly simple to teach, but for them was life-changing, which was presentation skills. Now, I posted the photo of me doing that on this LinkedIn platform, and I got some likes and a little bit of vanity and ego stroking for that. But when one of my graduates of that program posted, and she said, hey, it changed my life, that got thousands of views and thousands of likes. And that's the measure of success. It's not the award. It's not the false title. It is in the lives we touch and change. And I think that is the magic of success. When I look at how I can coach people to be better, I often ask, well, who are you paying it forward to? Sometimes when people come to me for mentoring, and I have very limited bandwidth for that, so I'm not advertising for that right now, but when sometimes people come to me for mentoring and I think it's worthwhile, I say, well, if you can't pay me, go pay it forward to 3 other people. Go make sure there's a difference. And this is the multiplier effect of success, right? And I remember, again, talking about principles, the great Zig Ziglar, the motivational sales speaker who used to wow audiences with his Southern accent. He used to say, you can have anything in life you want, provided you help enough other people get what they want. And I think if I was going to give advice to my younger self, if I was going to coach me in my 20s, it would be to stop focusing on the vanity. What is the award or the accolade that I have? And what are the accolades that the people I touch get, right? Now, if you're a new manager or you're a leader, you get to the top because you have a clear goal and objective and you work hard and you make sure you do that. But the reality is that your lasting success and your long-lasting legacy is the people you touch. Who are you coaching and who are you mentoring to go to the next level? And so I'm really fortunate as a coach. My everyday work is helping people be more successful. I've helped people step into CEO roles. I've helped people who have a lot of money take that money and set up foundations which impact thousands of people. And whilst my name isn't on any of those, I can go to bed at night and know I did a good thing. Now, being an invisible contributor is highly honorable, but there is a balance. And when I talk about executive presence and the path to the C-suite, I make sure that I coach my coachees, my clients, to make sure you get the balance. It is great to pay it forward. It is great to add value into other people's lives, and also make sure that people do know the value that you bring to the organization. Do not hide your light under a bushel if you have done it, but it has to be real. It can't be fake. There are people who fake their accomplishments and eventually they are found out. So do great work, add value, and socialize it in a humble way. And by humble, I mean grounded, that the things that you contribute are based in reality. And as you do that, you will be successful. And the reality of a successful life is it is not measured in the cars or the houses or the job title. I'm currently doing some coaching for somebody who's developing his speech around this concept of executive loneliness. And as we do that, he really has a message that whilst we often miss anxiety and stress in other people, we absolutely miss it in those people who appear to be successful on the outside. Somebody has the corner office, they're wearing the nice suit. We have no idea that on the inside they're empty. And so here's the reality. Some people have chased the wrong aspect of success. I was chuckling this morning. My son is super funny. He's 12. Hard to remember, they move so quickly. And before Christmas, he said to me, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, well, what I want for Christmas is a happy family. And he said, wouldn't you like something more realistic, like a dragon? We all laughed. But I was reminding my wife of this comment this morning, and she said, you have the happy family. Whilst we struggle with, we have 3 kids and they're teenagers and there are challenges, I have that. And so I'm very grateful that I have that. And that's a mark of success. I get to work with at-risk teenagers and make a difference there. I get to pay it forwards in diversity, inclusion, a number of areas. But I didn't do that overnight. And again, if I was to say to myself, to the younger me, what would you do? I would focus earlier on what is the difference I am making. Because every time I focused on the difference I'm making, I grow much more on the inside. So self-leadership, my topic is, yes, the practice of intentionally influencing your thinking, feeling, and actions towards your objectives. But self-leadership certainly isn't selfish. So if you want to learn more about my coaching and the concept of self-leadership, go to selfleadership.com. There's 4 buttons there which will send you in different directions. If you're an organization looking to add value, there's a button for you. If you're looking to develop your own C-suite pathway, there's a button for there. And if you're looking to hire me as a coach, I have a few spots available. And the reality is I'm going to be looking for people who want to make a significant difference to their success. So this is Andrew Bryant, championing self-leadership. Have a great day.